D2 Word Life here with Rip Seth Rollins Lover Tides.
Fuck off! I am not a Seth Rollins fan, unlike you. Because every time you see him, you go, "Oh shit! I leak oil."
Oh shit! God damn it! Okay, that burn on me actually got me to laugh because that was almost a true story. Son of a bitch. The only thing I can say is thank God we didn't have Taco Bell before that show.
There was no Taco Bell.
That's what I'm saying. Thank God we didn't have any Taco Bell before that show.
Yes, you would have literally leaked. No, you wouldn't have leaked, or you would have spilled oil.
Then I would have given you a message. Yeah, talk about burn it down, all right. But anyway, we're not talking. Anyway, that's another story for another time. Here today we are reviewing Clash of the Castle 2022. This was my pick this week, and we got Clash in Italy at time recording literally tomorrow, so, alright?
Yes.
Anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that.
We have the Mask vs. Mask match in AAA.
Yeah, I may check out the AAA show just to watch the El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano match, but we can go over the results of that tomorrow if you want to. We're not gonna go into deep fucking review detail of it.
Yeah, well, it's up to you if you want to do it. We don't have to. We can say what happened, but
we can just
that's up to you.
We can just give the results and what happened on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know we usually would go over the Saturday night's main event results since there was one last week, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows what happened by now anyway.
Yeah, Logan Paul got injured.
Yeah, and before we get to the Clash, Logan Paul's injured. There's rumors going around that Jacob Fatu is now injured, which means the Tribal Combat match may be in jeopardy for tomorrow night.
Yep.
Them rumors made the rounds on social media recently, so I was like, wow, whatever, right?
Yep.
But going back to Clash of the Castle 2022, I know this is what you're actually here to listen to. This event took place on September 3rd, 2022 in Cardiff, Wales. It was the first UK event in 19 years, and the first big major UK event in 30 years at that point.
It's the biggest one in the 30 year because it wasn't. Because the last one that they had was their European tour back in '98.
Well, they had a bunch of UK shows before, smaller UK shows before, but nothing this big.
Well, their last one was when they had Bret the Hitman Hart versus the British Bulldog.
That was at SummerSlam 92. That was the last big stadium show before this one in the UK. After that, they had smaller pay-per-views that felt house show quality, like One Night Only or freaking Insurrection or Rebellion. You know those shows. In the UK, that's what I'm talking about. Or No Mercy 99 UK event.
Which they honored Bret the Hitman Hart and the British Bulldogs family.
So yeah, but either way, this was the first big stadium UK pay-per-view in 30 years. Yes, they had smaller pay-per-views in between that time period and obviously other live events, but nothing like this big in 30 years. That's pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At this time, right?
Yep.
And it was held in Cardiff, Wales at the Peninsability Stadium. I probably butchered the hell out of that. I know I did. Right? With a reported attendance of 62,215, even though the number was inflated to 62,295. Either way, it's still a lot. Either way, it's still reported over 60,000 fans in attendance. Right? And the commentators for this event was Byron Saxon, Corey Graves, and your boy Michael Cole, who you were very sad did not compete at this event.
Oh, I know you were very sad that your boy didn't compete at this event, especially because you wanted to see him bust out that orange singlet again.
That's what you've been wanting in over the last year or so.
It'd be funny as hell to see Michael Cole wrestle again. All of a sudden, you just see him go up against freaking Danhausen.
No, you're the one who wanted to. You're the one who said last year you want to see Michael Cole versus Gunther.
Yeah, that would be funny as hell too.
And if they actually pushed that, hypothetically speaking, I'd look at that and be like, easy squash for Gunther.
Well, technically, it was supposed to be Gunther versus Michael Cole, but it became Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
Yeah, no one besides you is clamoring for a Michael Cole return to the ring. Let's freaking face it.
And I find it funny because I'd just be making jokes on your expense.
It would be cringe as hell. Just like back in 2011, it was cringe as hell.
And when have I not ever made you watch something that was cringe as hell?
You made me watch Heroes of Wrestling, so obviously you're never shy away from doing that.
That wasn't cringe, that was just shit.
And a little bit of cringe. But mostly shit. So... And all the old WCW 2000 shows. Who made me freaking watch them? You did. None of that crap was my idea. I guarantee you.
Well, we also had two good reviews on our last review.
Or two comments, yeah. Yeah, I read them, but... Yeah, I read them. It was alright. Oh, yeah, by the way, the ring announcer for this event was Samantha Irvine, too. Right? Or Samantha Irvin, right?
Yeah.
And shout out to the pre-show match, which saw the Street Profits and Madcap Moss defeat the Alpha Academy and your boy Austin Theory.
No, it's your boy Austin Theory.
Oh, when they kept advertising every shop throughout this dang show, you were happy to see Austin Theory taking a selfie.
Oh, I know you were.
No. We know you were. Anyway, the show officially started with a video package hyping the event, showing shots from the UK and superstars the superstars there and heading towards the castle themed arena, basically. Yeah, and then we got a shot of the crowd. Everyone was all hyped up for this event, which rightfully so. You should expect that stuff. Can you imagine we started watching WWE show and instead of hyped up the crowd, the fans were just like total silent?
No.
How awkward would that be? I'd be like, well, I guess they sense that this show sucks.
That would be an AEW show.
Yeah, true. There's some shots fired. And all of a sudden, there's only one sign at that AEW show that says, I'd rather be at a WWE show. That would be really fucked.
Yeah.
That's when you know they're really going downhill. Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we get to our first match of the night, which was the 6-women tag team match. It was Damage Control of Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai taking on Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss here.
No, it was... Bitch.
God damn it. I think that promo was like on the Go Home Show Raw before this. Don't quote me on that. I don't know, but that was... You know, that was a funny back and forth promo between Asuka and Io Sky leading up to this.
Yes, because Io Sky, she knows both English and Japanese. Asuka knows a little bit of English, but she just kept speaking Japanese the entire time, so we had the subtitles, and she's like, baka, 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 which means stupid, 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 or idiot, idiot, idiot. And, fucking Io is like, yes, I can speak Japanese, and then at the end she's like, oh, bitch. And then all it is a
The
freaking Japanese
title.
kanji for the freaking word, which you said it in English.
Which I know got you laughing, got everybody laughing.
It was all subtitle, and then right when she's like, "Bitch, Japanese kanji."
Yeah, and I know that made you fucking laugh.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's just baka 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 baka. Yeah.
And of course, you know, the crowd was so pumped here for this opening contest. I mean, they started singing the Hey Bailey theme song, right?
Yeah.
At the start of the match, despite Bailey's team being the heels going into this match, right?
Yeah.
And at one time, it was like back and forth for the most part. Freaking Belair's team was in control for most of it, but then tides a turn, tags back and forth, right? And at one point, Belair hit a freaking handspring moonsault onto freaking all three members of Damage Control, got a 2 count. I thought that was a good
Yeah.
highlight. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then Bliss at one point freaking tripped Io Sky up, followed by the double knees to the ribs for another 2 count, which I thought was another good highlight there.
Well, I also like the fact that freaking Io Sky tried to dodge it. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna roll," and then freaking Alexa was like, "Oh, backflip, double knee, backflip, double knee." She's like, "You ain't getting away."
Later on, yeah, and then later on, I think it was like the middle of the match, freaking Bliss hit a code red on the Sky, but freaking Kai made the blind tag, nailed a running kick before the pin could be made, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that happened after freaking Sky hit a flapjack on the freaking Bliss for a 2 count, right?
Yeah.
Which I also thought was a good highlight here. Near the end of the match up here, freaking the heels were in control. Damage Control were in control, right? Yeah, and then freaking
I'd say the control was damaged.
the control was damaged here. Belair went up to the top, jumped off, and Kai moved out of the way. Then Kai then nailed the scorpion kick, sending Belair into the corner, and that's when the end of the match really came here. Bailey then hit the rose plant on the freaking. Bailey hit the rose plant on the Belair. Then Sky hit her over the moonsault.
Well, before that, they tried. Belair tried to hit a super KOD.
Yeah, and that didn't quite
And then
work.
Io Sky grabbed Dakota Kai and pulled her from the ring ropes, which let them take advantage of that.
Yeah. Which then we saw freaking Bailey nail the rose plant on the Belair, followed by Sky nailing the over the moonsault to cover. And freaking Bailey took the win by covering Belair.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I know I didn't go into every move into detail. I freaking just talked about the ones that stood out to me. But either way, I thought it was a good back and forth match. It's just one of those matches you gotta see for yourself if you want every move in detail. But your thoughts on this one?
It was good.
Would they have better matches? Would all 6 women have better matches? More than likely, the best one between Asuka and Io Sky was the last one they had recently on pay-per-view, as we know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was an alright way to open up the show. So yeah, there was nothing really like bad about it. It didn't blow me out of the water either, just from a viewing perspective. But you know, that was a good match to kick it off, right?
Yeah.
Yep, and then we see Drew McIntyre standing backstage, talking with boxing champion Tyson Fury, and well, that was about it backstage for there.
The Gypsy King Tyson Fury.
Yeah, and then they showed the highlights from SummerSlam 92, their last big show at Wembley Stadium before this one. Right?
Yep.
Which we have yet to review SummerSlam 92, by the way. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they showed the family of the British Bulldog, and they showed Bret Hart sitting in the freaking audience like we were discussing earlier. So, yeah. Reason for that is because, well, the next match was for the Intercontinental Championship. And it was Intercontinental Champion Gunther defending against Sheamus one-on-one. Right?
Yep.
And of course, Sheamus made his entrance with the Brawling Brutes at his side. Butch, or Ridge Holland, Butch, better known as Pete Dunne. Right?
Or as he's known right now as Bravo Americano.
That's cringe. Just had to say it. Right. We all know.
Or the other one. I forget what the other one's what. No. Tyler Bate is Bravo, and the other one is Pete Dunne.
Yep.
The other Americanos. Or as their tag team is known as Los Americanos.
We all know you're the big fan of the Los Americanos here.
Now we all know that you want to be part of Los Americanos. You and Anthony.
No. And thank you for name dropping our friend there. When he sees us, he's gonna be pissed. He's gonna be like, fuck off, I'm not a fan of the Americanos. But anyway, Sheamus made his entrance first, like I mentioned, and then we cut to the entranceway and we see Giovanna Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser, who Ludwig Kaiser is now known as El Grande Americano, so it goes full circle here.
Well, Giovanni Vinci finally made his main debut on this event because he was still stuck in NXT at that point.
Yep. Yeah.
Because they only moved up Gunther and Ludwig.
So yeah, and they introduced freaking the Intercontinental Champion Gunther here, which obviously this was Imperium reforming this time on the main roster, right?
Yeah.
Everyone went nuts for that.
General.
Yep. Oh, and here's a little side note. The fact that we gone full circle this with freaking Pete Dunne being one of the Americanos and Ludwig Kaiser being El Grande Americano. We gone full circle here.
Yes.
Which I find ironic and funny. Right?
Yes.
But anyway, Gunther made his entrance to the ring. And I just liked how at the start of it, there was no brawling before the bell between Gunther and Sheamus. They just sat and stared each other down. While Imperium and the Brawling Brutes were just brawling all around them while they just stood there, staring at each other.
Sheamus was just aura forming. That's what he was fucking doing. He was just fucking aura forming. He's just like...
Yeah, and then the brawl between Imperium and the Brawling Brutes freaking happened all around, and Sheamus and Gunther just stood there the whole time, not even touching each other. Right?
Yes.
That's when you know, oh crap, we got some serious shit going on. The two factions are fighting each other and the leaders are just standing there not doing shit. Besides staring each other down.
That's because they didn't want any interference in that match, so they basically had Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci, Pete Dunne, and Ridge Holland fight all the way to the back.
Yep. And as soon as the four men went to the back, that's when the bell rang and Sheamus and Gunther just started going at each other like they owed each other money, pretty much. It was a brawl from the start.
Well, Sheamus was trying to be a Grand Slam champion because that's the only one championship that he has. And he'll probably win it when he comes back.
Yeah, and then early on, freaking Gunther freaking got some chops in on Sheamus, and Sheamus's chest was already starting to turn red. Right? I mean, I can't do this match justice here. Right? Yeah, and then freaking Sheamus
Whereas Camilla's husband would say it was turning into hamburger
hamburger.
meat.
Yep.
Corey Graves would say it's turning into hamburger meat.
And then early on afterwards, Sheamus went for the beat to the bower and that he usually does, the chops to the chest in the ring ropes, but Gunther kept countering that, right?
You
And then on the outside, Sheamus sent Gunther to the steel steps, but there was a lot of chops. Freaking eventually, freaking Sheamus was able to hit his signature beat to the bower and on to freaking Gunther, right?
know.
Yeah, and then freaking at one point, Gunther applied the Boston Crab onto Sheamus, and yeah, at this point, that's when they pointed out that Sheamus's chest looked like hamburger meat.
Yep.
But Sheamus eventually got the ropes to get out of that. And then freaking Gunther, he also freaking not only chopped Sheamus in the chest, he also chopped him several times in the back as well. Right?
Yeah.
Which I'm like, yeah, that looks like yeah, that looks painful. Am I right?
Yep.
Anyway, a little later on, Sheamus, I think he went for a white noise attempt. He actually nailed it, but it was a freaking dang 2 count, right?
Yeah.
This was after Sheamus he nailed that after reversing Gunther's power bomb. By the way, right?
Yeah. He also tried to go for a bro kick.
Yep, but Gunther near the end, Gunther was able to hit a power bomb, but Sheamus kicked out at 2. There was a lot of near falls in this match too. By the way, I can't go through all of them. We'd be sitting here all day just talking about this one match if I went through it spot for spot. Let's face it.
Yeah. Well, Gunther got a 2 count on. He tried to go for his, as Michael Cole would call it, Jurassic drop kick.
Which I believe they got reversed.
Yes.
And of course, Sheamus was able to nail the Celtic Cross, commonly known as the Razor's Edge. Slowly went for the cover because he was selling all the damage that was done to him in this match, and he got a 2 count. Right?
Yeah.
And then the end of the match came when Sheamus freaking went for the broad kick, but he couldn't do it due to his back hurting him so damn much. And then Gunther nailed another powerbomb onto Sheamus, but there was no cover, right? Because, at this point in the match, near the end, Gunther was also fatigued from the beating he got, right?
Yeah, those two gave each other such a fucking beating. Their gas tank was on red line.
And both slowly got back, and then Gunther was able to hit friggin' a lariat or a clothesline from hell, whatever you want to call it, and barely got the pinfall win to retain the title. I know I didn't go through all this match in detail. I went through the highlights that stood out, but but if I went through all the highlights in this match, I'd be pretty much talking about the entire thing. Your thoughts on this one?
It was a big ass fucking brawl. It needed more violence.
Honestly, I thought this was the best match on the card, honestly, and it still holds up today. The only thing I can say, if you want to know what happens throughout this whole match, go back and watch it yourself. Right?
Yeah, and if you guys agree it needed more violence, say you need sustenance.
I mean, those two proved they don't need weapons or anything. They just need their bare hands to beat the hell out of each other. Right?
Yeah.
Like I said, Sheamus looked like fucking hamburger meat, freaking, from taking all those chops everywhere. Freaking Gunther wasn't in any better shape because of the beating he took. It's like these two beat each other down like they owed each other money or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a friggin' war here with no interference. That's why they got rid of the two factions immediately at the start. So it was just a straight one-on-one brawl with a clear winner.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought this was the best match of the card, and this was voted match of the year in 2022, and for a good reason, right? But yeah, I would go back and watch this again. My description won't do it justice. I only picked out some of the highlights because if I was going to talk about all the highlights here, I'd be talking about the match in full, and we don't have that kind of time. Am I right? Fuck. We'd be sitting here all day just talking about this match. Be honest, this match was so good it should have been the main event of this show, and I don't think anybody would have complained. You know what I'm saying?
It's your opinion.
It's just my opinion. And just because I think freaking Gunther can wrestle actually great 5-star matches doesn't mean I'm a fanboy of his. God damn it.
Yes, it does. You have 5 of his cards.
I have 6 of his legendaries on Slam App. People love to keep giving them to me for some reason. Most of them came from you, asshole. Look, so yeah, you can't talk.
And?
I'd be like, well, that's more legendaries for me. I'm pretty sure somebody will come and take them. But you never know, right?
I could have gave you Grayson Waller.
I would decline that every time. I don't even want that son of a bitch. But then again, if I'm doing auto-accept and someone gave it to me, I'd have to. And I would try to pawn it on to you to get rid of. Like I did the last time. You'd be like, motherfucker, right?
Yep.
And of course, after the match, Sheamus got up and got a standing ovation from the crowd for his effort in this match. Rightfully so. Right?
No.
Yeah, and then I think we got and throughout this night we got freaking advertisements for WWE Shop at the time. Like I'm also so. Just bear with me here on this one. We got a video package next about the next match, which was Liv Morgan defending the SmackDown Women's title against Shayna Baszler. Right?
Yes.
And I'm just like, these two can't follow that match that we just seen, but we'll give them a chance, right?
Yeah.
And of course, during the build-up, freaking Liv Morgan was like, it's funny, you're kind of like a freaking Ronda Rousey ripoff. Or the Wish version of Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. She didn't take too kindly to that at all. Right? But anyway, both women make their entrance for the match. The women's title's on the line here. Freaking Liv Morgan had an injured left arm in the match, so she was selling her arm injury, which is something you don't do in 2K. There's my 1 per video.
Yeah, no, it's not just 1 per video.
Huh? Yeah. You know, I was gotta put that in there somewhere, right?
Uh-huh.
And of course, Baszler went to work on the arm for most of this matchup. And at one point, Baszler sent freaking Morgan's arm into the barricade, right? Thus injuring it some more, and then back in the ring for a 2 count. Well, obviously knew that wasn't going to be it. Baszler went for the submission, but Morgan fought out of it and nailed Baszler with a German suplex. Right?
Yep.
And of course, a little later on in the matchup here, freaking Baszler came back with a knee to the face of Morgan and yelled out, "Quit like you always do." Yeah, that's kind of degrading. It's one thing to get your ass kicked, but it's a whole different level of personal when the person kicking your ass is talking shit to you at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
That's humiliating. But did Morgan quit? No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Morgan actually was able to get a triangle choke, which freaking Baszler countered into a pin attempt for a 2 count, which I thought was, which that spot I'm like, okay, that's unique. That's a way to shut Baszler up, right? Because, monologuing is a villain's greatest weakness. We know that. And that was a prime example of that, right?
Yeah.
And of course, near the end, freaking Baszler applied the Karafuda clutch on the freaking Morgan, but Baszler was also selling her own left arm that Morgan worked on throughout this match too. Got to the bottom rope to break the submission, break, right? And Morgan eventually countered the Karafuda clutch for a 2 count, but in the end, freaking Morgan was able to hit the freaking Oblivion on the freaking Baszler for the 3 count to retain the title. Your thoughts on this one?
It was good, especially when freaking Baszler kept going for the hurt arm.
Yeah, that's smart. In wrestling, that's a smart. If your freaking opponent has an injured body part, you go after it. Right?
Yep.
Try to weaken it up, log in a submission, try to get a submission win, which there was no submission win for Baszler here. And honestly, I think it was okay, but I think Baszler should have had at least one run with a women's title here on the main roster, which she never got. Ever since her WrestleMania match against Becky Lynch, they never booked her as a threat in the women's title division. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was dominant in NXT before her call-up, but her main roster run kind of equivalent to nothing. Granted, she is a former women's tag champion, but she never had a proper run as the main women's champion on SmackDown or Raw at the time.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I thought it was okay for what it was. It really didn't. Obviously, I think the match prior with Gunther and Sheamus was better than this one, but it wouldn't have mattered. Hell, it could have been the world title match between McIntyre and Reigns next after the Intercontinental title match. Would be like, they got some work to do to try to top that. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an okay match. Yeah, and apparently on the live version of the show, which we saw the freaking Netflix version, the live version of the show, they aired a commercial for Extreme Rules 2022, which we have yet to review, and that's going to be a tough watch at the end. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get to that when we get to that, right? So yeah, then we get a video package setting up our next match, which was the Judgment Day versus Edge and Rey Mysterio. Right?
Yep.
And I remember watching this in real time, and I'm just like, especially with the backstage interactions between Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, and Edge. Dominic being jealous that Rey Mysterio would pick Edge in his match against the Judgment Day and Clash instead of him. I could end everything with Rhea Ripley just beating the hell out of Dom also, and I'm just thinking to myself, I even thought to myself at the time, like, a heel turn for Dom is coming at this point, because it was clear as day with those backstage interactions. Even you probably predicted that at the time, watching it back.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And of course, anyway, Rey Mysterio freaking made his entrance first with Dominic by his side. Rey and Dominic got a great ovation. It would be the last time Dominic would get cheered, hint, for a while. Am I right?
Yep.
Then, of course, Edge made his way to the ring, and what the heck was Edge wearing?
It was Jamaica.
What'd you say? The freaking Discord cut out.
They said he was El Edge Americano.
Or El Edge Americano. No, Edge is from Canada. He was El Edge Canada, man. I don't know. Right?
Canada.
Canada. Yeah, he came out wearing a luchador mask that was similar in color scheme to his ring attire, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then the Judgment Day made their entrance. Obviously, the crowd hated them, right? Of course, I look at them like, yeah, the only one that was probably getting more cheers and boos out of the Judgment Day at this time was Rhea Ripley, right?
No.
Of course, the Judgment Day is what helped Rhea Ripley catapult to the big megastar she is now, but you know what I mean, right?
No.
And of course, the Judgment Day kicked Edge out of the stable. That's why Edge got involved in this match. So, yeah. Right? And of course, Edge and Damian Priest start off this one going back and forth. Anyway, later on, Edge went to kick Balor in the back of the ribs and sent Priest over the top rope. And another highlight following that was when Ray jumped onto Edge's shoulders, landing a moonsault on the Balor and Priest on the outside. So yeah, I thought that was it. So yeah, that was a good highlight for this one. Of course, Priest got back in the ring, caught Ray with a power bomb for a 2 count. Right? And of course, later on in the match, I think this was like near the middle of the end of the match, Edge got a tag. Edge got the tag in from Ray. Nailed an execution on Balor, and Priest was on the apron, and Edge knocked him down off the apron. And then Ray jumped on Priest on the floor, and then Edge dropped freaking Balor into the 619 position, and Edge then hit a 619 on the Balor. Sloppy looking, but, Edge is not someone who nails that move on a regular basis like Ray does.
Yeah.
And then Ray hit the frog splash off the top on the Balor for a 2 count, right?
Yeah.
But then Edge went to cover Balor instead, but then Priest broke it up. So the match continues, right?
Just break it out. He freaking just hit Edge with his foot.
Yep. Yeah, and then freaking Balor hit the sling blade on the Edge, followed by a drop kick into the turnbuckle onto Ray or Edge, right? I think he nailed Edge with the drop kick. And of course, Dominic distracted the referee, so Ray hit freaking Balor with a Frankensteiner off the top rope. See, outside interference, even on the face's behalf, loses points. Sorry, I got to, alright?
Yeah.
And of course, at this point, on the outside, Rhea Ripley sent Dom into the freaking barricade, right?
Yeah.
Taking Dominic out. But Ray hit the head scissors on the Balor into the ropes in the 619 position, but Balor clothesline and kicked Ray out of the ring, right?
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't matter because a little later on, freaking Dominic tripped up Balor, which put him in position for the 619 again, and then Ray nailed freaking Balor with the 619, and Edge followed up with a spear on the Balor for the pinfall win.
Also, don't forget he fucking speared Balor through the damn ropes.
Oh yeah, that too. That was also a good spot as well. Good highlight as well. Yeah, Edge and Rey Mysterio picking up the win here. Your thoughts on this? Before we get to what happened after the match, your thoughts on the actual match as a whole.
Good.
From bell to bell. I thought it was alright. Did Edge and Rey Mysterio predictably win? Yeah, but I thought it was a good match or a decent match from bell to bell.
Yeah.
And of course, enough about the match. What gets talked about the most from this match? It wasn't the match itself, it was what happened after the match. Right?
Yeah.
Freaking Edge and Rey Mysterio were celebrating, and they wanted Dominic to celebrate with them, but Dominic was hesitant, standing there. And then Dominic went up to Edge, and he decided to be a dick to Edge's rated R superstars out of nowhere, giving Edge a low blow. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, and then and then he started beating down on Edge, and then Ray freaking pleaded with his son to stop, and asking Dom what the hell's wrong with you, which Dominic proceeded to clothesline Rey Mysterio, breaking his alliance with his father, too, at the same time. While the Judgment Day just sat there and laughed menacingly. And this was the start of freaking Dominic becoming the trash can, and obviously his alliance with the Judgment Day. Alright? And the fans were booing the hell out of him. Like they would. This was Dominic's heel turn. Your thoughts on Dominic's heel turn here?
He was an asshole.
Yeah, this is when Dominic went from being Rey Mysterio's son to the trash can, basically. This was the starting point. Right?
Yep.
And even though I seen it coming in the weeks leading up to it, I thought the execution was on point. It was ultimately this moment that would start the rivalry between Dominic and Rey heading into the next following year's Mania. Right?
Yep.
And of course, Dominic walked off. Everyone was booing the hell out of him, and it wasn't. I mean, he didn't outright align himself with the Judgment Day on this night, but it was the couple days later on Raw that it was revealed he did align himself with the Judgment Day. Which he's still a part of that group, if you even want to call it that today. Which, be honest, Dominic's such a great slimy heel on his own, he really doesn't need the Judgment Day anymore at this point. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that group, if you can even call it a group nowadays. Right?
Yeah.
Because shit, they got rid of all the original members. The Judgment Day is just JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, freaking Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez now. It's a shell of what it used to be when that group first started.
Yep.
And of course, Edge and Rey Mysterio got back up to their feet after the match. Rey was apologizing for his son, but the crowd cheered him when they hugged and left. Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, anyway. A video package aired about Drew McIntyre's show. The Drew McIntyre video freaking package aired about what went down on SmackDown 2 weeks prior. And, his big homecoming into the UK and everything else. And then that's when the attendance number was announced as 60,296. They inflated it, but still, it's fine, whatever. WWE's known for doing that, right?
Yeah.
And then we go to the next match, which was the semi-main event between your boy Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle.
No, it's your boy Seth Rollins.
And yeah, I remember these two having this big-ass feud throughout the summer of 2022. They were supposed to have a match at SummerSlam 5 weeks prior, but Riddle was injured, taken out of the match, so that's why they had the beatdown instead at SummerSlam. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, what stood out to me was their back and forth. What stood out to me leading up to this match was their back and forth on the Raw prior to this. Right?
Yeah.
The split screen interview between the two. When friggin' Riddle was like, yeah, well, we know in your marriage, there's only one man in your marriage, and that's Becky Lynch, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Taking shots at Rollins right there. Yeah, and then right when it was like, okay, we clear, and Rollins was like, hey, Riddle, you still there? Yeah, you want to talk about my family? Let's talk about yours. Let's talk about how your wife and kids don't want to be around you anymore, around your bitch ass anymore, and how they left your ass. I'm like, that's real shots fired right there.
Yeah, that was after his substance abuse. He was going through a really bad divorce at that time.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what. So yeah, and that's what really set this off. Right?
Yeah, but you don't bring a man's divorce into the fucking situation that you're in. That was kind of bullshit.
Yeah, but to me, that was the one that stood out. I'm like, what the fuck? Right?
Yes, it did give it more where at the next month's pay-per-view they had that fight pit.
Yeah, Extreme Rules, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But still, they could have done without it. I understand where you're coming from, but it makes for more dramatic TV, I guess, when you blur the lines.
Didn't they learn from the freaking HBK and Bret Hart incident?
Probably not. I mean, I mean, as long as both parties agree to it, blurring the lines between fiction and reality could work if both parties agree to it. But there's some examples where that was dropped, where that was dropped, and people were pissed, and the people were pissed legitimately, right?
Well, they liked it, but they were also kind of pissed.
Yep. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get to this matchup here. Both men made their entrances, and when it comes to Matt Riddle's entrance here, I think there's only one phrase that could fit Matt Riddle's entrance perfectly. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Seriously, Matt Riddle was wearing Patrick freaking design inspired gear, and even freaking Corey Grave on commentary goes, "Yeah, we're across the castle. Apparently, Riddle thought we were going to be in Bikini Bottom."
Yep.
And also, what the hell was Riddle, or what the hell was Seth Rollins wearing during his entrance?
He needs to stop getting his goddamn wardrobe from Becky Lynch's damn closet. God damn.
It's pretty bad. You even had to take a photo with your phone watch when you're watching this event and send it to me with it saying that. It was so outrageous that you had to talk.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he was trying to make himself look. I think he was trying to wear like a devil-inspired outfit. He had the horns up with the freaking wings and everything. It just looked really weird.
Yes.
But
and what I mean is that they got in trouble because both Riddle's and his wife's lawyer both kind of filed a lawsuit with WWE at that point as well for initiating that stuff when they were going through that messy divorce.
Anyway, both men make their entrances here. Yeah, and then Patrick. I mean freaking Rollins. No,
Matrick.
Or yeah,
it's Matrick.
Matrick. Yeah, Rollins freaking nailed a thrust kick or a thrust to the throat.
It's Patrick.
Yep.
Because Matt Riddle was known as the King of Bros, Bro Trick.
Yeah, but Patrick Starr nailed a kick and a senton for a 2 count. I mean, Matt Riddle did, right?
God damn, get off of Patrick Starr, god damn it.
I don't care, that shit's fucking fun. Hey, don't blame me, blame Riddle. He wore freaking Patrick-inspired gear for this show, right? Yeah, and then Riddle got a head scissors takedown into an armbar, but freaking Rollins dumped Riddle near the ropes, and Riddle then knocked Rollins off the apron on the outside. This was at the start of the match.
Don't forget that the referee stopped Riddle from getting the 5 count when he was beating the shit out of Rollins on the rope, where he pushed the damn ref, and the ref's like, I'm offended.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, at least you don't have glass bones and paper skin.
And of
Because
course,
the guy didn't go flat on his head. He just literally got pushed to the side. He's like, huh?
and of course, at one point,
Thank you.
yeah, and then at one point near the beginning, Rollins actually gave freaking Riddle a freaking buckle bomb into the barricade. The same maneuver that injured Finn Balor's shoulder at one point. That looked like it hurt like a lot, right?
It was the same maneuver that injured Finn Balor at SummerSlam when they were going for the
Universal
World
title.
Heavyweight title, which even though Finn Balor had won the match, he had to relinquish it the next night.
Well, the World Heavyweight title, Universal title, it's basically the same thing, right? But yeah, Rollins freaking hit a clothesline. The fans on the freaking Riddle staying in control of the match. The fans hated it, obviously. And of course, Rollins got a 2 count after a running back elbow. Later on, Rollins nailed the Falcon Arrow for a 2 count. Right?
Yeah.
And at one point, didn't Rollins tried to go for the Falcon Arrow again? One of his signature maneuvers, Riddle freaking counted for a 2 count. Right?
Yeah, he went because Seth Rollins did the superplex, which he normally rolls into the Falcon Arrow, which the Falcon Arrow got reversed.
For a 2 count, yep. And of course, near the end of the match up here, they went at each other back and forth. Let's just put it like that. Near the end of the match up here, Riddle actually caught Rollins with a triangle choke when Rollins went for a maneuver off the top, I believe. Right?
Yes. Well, Rollins was trying to do the frog splash, and Riddle caught him in fucking midair with the triangle choke.
Which I thought was unique. And of course, Rollins sold it and nearly passed out. Unlike you in 2K, you were right. There was more than one, right?
Uh-huh.
And of course, Rollins and nailed the Bro Derek or Riddle's finishing maneuver for a 2 count, right?
Well, after he tried to go for the pedigree the first time, that got reversed. He reversed that reversal into the Bro Derek.
Yep.
Which got him a 2 count because Riddle just threw up his shoulder. He's just like, eh.
Yeah, and then later on, Rollins nailed the pedigree onto Riddle for a 2 count. This was near the end of the matchup, but then Rollins decided to talk trash to Riddle, saying he's a loser, monologuing as the greatest villain's enemy. Right? And he even said, these people know it, and his kids know it. And that's when Riddle went off, right?
Yes. And is it bad that when Riddle grabbed the steel chair was going to hit him with it, I had flashbacks of Eddie Guerrero doing the same thing?
Yes. But like I said, well, on the outside, they went to the outside. This is what you're talking about. Riddle slammed Seth's head into the freaking dang commentary table repeatedly.
Oh, no, he didn't just slam it. He basketballed. He basketballed his head. He just kept going up and down, 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 up and down. He's like, you want to talk shit? I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah, and that's when freaking Riddle went for the chair, but Rollins moved out of the way, so Riddle hit nothing but the announce table with the chair. Right? And of course, Rollins got back into the ring, and then Riddle went after Rollins back in the ring, but Rollins met him with the freaking stomp on the ropes. Right?
Yep.
And then Rollins decided, I'm going to go up to the middle turnbuckle, where he nailed another stomp on the freaking dang Riddle and got the 3 count. Your thoughts on this?
It was decent.
Yeah, and that's not even taking into account. We kind of glossed over this, so I'll mention it now. Before the ending of the match, Rollins actually did go for a RKO, which was Orton's move, and Orton was Riddle's tag partner at the time. But Riddle reversed that into a rear naked choke, right?
Yep.
Well, so that was another highlight before the stuff on the outside I forgot to mention, but But either way, Rollins won by nailing a second curve stomp from the middle turnbuckle. Your thoughts on this one? It was, to me, it was decent. It was decent scrap. Would they have a better match the following month in that fight pit? Debatable. We're gonna have to freaking rewatch that to determine that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did because Riddle got the.
You're saying Riddle got the win in that one?
Yes.
But I thought this was okay for what it was. It wasn't their best match, but it was serviceable for what it is, and it told the story that it needed to tell. And obviously, this rivalry wasn't over following this.
Yeah.
Because they would still continue their rivalry into the following month's Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which we need to review at some point. But either way, I thought it was okay for what it was. Right?
Yep.
And of course, after the match, Rollins celebrated with a big shit-eating grin on his face, saying, "Bye-bye, see you never." I'm like, he's wrong on that one. Right?
Yep.
And of course, now we go to the back. They showed Roman Reigns talking with Tyson Fury this time. Right?
Yeah.
And then Tyson Fury was shown at ringside with his family there. And then they also showed Karrion Kross and Scarlett, who recently re-signed with WWE at this point. During this time, also were seen in the crowd. Right?
Yep.
Ugh. So yeah, we go on to our main event of the night, which was for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, which saw Drew McIntyre challenging our tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
You were about to say Drew McIntyre.
I did not say. I wasn't about to say that.
Yes, you were.
Just like
you said, "Oh, I didn't die, I lived."
I didn't say lid. I said, okay, I looked. For those of you wondering, he's referencing to what I said in a future Fortnite fail video that I plan on putting up at some point.
Yes.
And I can confirm I actually said lid instead of did. What the hell? Little spoiler for that video, but whatever. Anyway, after they show the lead-up hype for this matchup, or the hype video for this matchup here, got back into the arena, and the crowd went nuts, because instead of Drew McIntyre's current theme playing for a little bit, they started playing the Broken Dreams theme song that I used to have.
I need to give him back that fucking theme.
Which, yes, that theme is a banger, not gonna freaking lie, right? And then afterwards, after that song played for about a good minute, showing a video package of Rollins, McIntyre's career up to this point. God, I can't talk for shit. That Sid English is getting to me now. Yeah, McIntyre's regular theme song started playing, and he came down the ring brandishing a sword. Right?
He always did.
Like he did back at this point. And then Roman Reigns made his entrance all by himself. There was no Usos, no Paul Heyman, no Sami Zayn, which Sami Zayn was an affiliate with the Bloodline at this point. Right?
Yes, he was an honorary Uso.
Yeah, so Roman was out there by himself. He got a standing boo-vation. This was basically someone on enemy turf fighting the hometown hero. That's basically what it felt like. Here,
yeah. That's because Drew McIntyre was born like a couple miles from Cardiff.
Yep.
In Scotland.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns at this point was like over 600 days into this freaking 1,300-day reign, so we all know who took the win here, but either way, it was a Either way, I felt like this was a good match, so let's talk about some of the highlights here, right? And of course, both made their entrances, like I stated here. Freaking those two started going at it from the opening bell, which saw freaking. And a highlight was Drew nailing a shoulder tackle and rocked Reigns a bit, but Reigns left the ring to the apron. And when Reigns got back in, Drew hit another shoulder tackle, leading to Reigns regrouping on the outside once again. Right?
Well, also the reason why Sami Zayn and the Usos weren't there is because Drew McIntyre took them out the week prior to a couple days prior to this event.
And a little insiders knew that, well, at the time, because of the Usos' criminal record, they couldn't travel to freaking Wales either. Their DUI stories have been documented at this point. Right? Which they were fresh at that point. Right? Oh yeah, and there was a sign in the crowd that said, "If Roman wins, we riot." Yeah, right?
Yep.
Of course, Reigns was able to get the upper hand with some punches, and he worked over Drew with punches in the corner. And of course, Drew battled back 10 punches to the head of Reigns here. But, a little later on in the matchup here, Drew nailed the 10 corner clotheslines on the freaking, Reigns, right? But then Reigns fought back, sending Drew's shoulder first into the friggin' ring post, right?
Yep.
And Reigns taunted the freaking crowd. Also, but a little later on, when Reigns was in control, Drew McIntyre... Reigns. When Reigns was in control of the matchup here...
God damn, your fucking said English is on point today.
Ain't it always? Right?
God damn!
Anyway, a little later on, like halfway through the match, Reigns beat on freaking Drew McIntyre with some kicks. Reigns was in control. Drew McIntyre was down the whole time. He could have took advantage. He could have set freaking Drew up for the freaking spear out of nowhere or a Superman punch or something, but no. He's like, Reigns was like, let me get the microphone so I can taunt the crowd. Right?
Yeah, he
So he grabbed the microphone and yelled out and said, "Cardiff, acknowledge me." Right?
No.
And what did Drew McIntyre do in response? Gave freaking Reigns the Glasgow kiss.
Glasgow kiss.
Which knocked both men down. Which I found comical, to be honest. And then I made a joke with you. I'm like, that's exactly what you want to do to me every time I say acknowledge me, don't you?
Yes.
Sorry, that got me laughing, right?
Yes.
I know this was supposed to be like a series like match here, main event match, but that little bit got me laughing.
Yeah, and guess who comes running down after that? Your boy Austin Theory. To try to steal it and make it a triple threat by cashing in Money in the Bank. And what happens?
Tyson Fury knocked Theory out.
Knocks his ass out. Just fucking one punches him with like fucking Mike Tyson.
Yeah, and that happened near the end of the match after Drew McIntyre nailed a Claymore to Reigns. Of course, at this point, the referee was freaking knocked out. Of course, the referee always has to be knocked out, right?
Yes, at this point, the referee had freaking glass bones and paper skin.
How many SpongeBob references are we going to have in this show? It all started with Matt Reynolds' Iron Knight talking about the referee.
No, it started... well, yes.
And of course, your boy Austin Theory tried to cash in. He got knocked out, as you mentioned, right?
No, it's your boy Austin Theory.
So, yeah, Reigns freaking... Yeah, and then Reigns got Claymore kicked again for a 2 count. As another referee came out there, right? And of course, Reigns...
And then we see a hooded figure And where have we seen these hooded figures before?
Good point. But yeah, freaking Drew McIntyre nailed the Glasgow kiss, headbutt, whatever. Nailed the Claymore kick. Drew went for the cover, but a hooded individual freaking pulled the referee out of the ring. And who was this hooded figure making his main roster debut from NXT? It was your tribal chief, Solo Sikoa.
Nope, it was your tribal chief, Solo Sikoa.
No, he ain't mine. He's yours.
Nope.
I only have one tribal chief, and that's Reigns. You're the one that acknowledges Solo.
No. No, I acknowledge the tribal chops.
Yeah, but then freaking McIntyre's downfalls, he went to attack Solo on the outside, which gave Reigns an opening to nail the spear on the freaking McIntyre and he got the 3 count and retained the undisputed Universal Championship here. Yeah,
which is bullshit. McIntyre should have won this match.
But anyway, ending aside, your thoughts on this match?
For the main event, it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent scrap. I mean, the ending kind of hurt it. I still think the best match was the Gunther and Sheamus outing, but the main event was serviceable, even though it was kind of predictable, but they made you believe McIntyre was actually going to win in his home country until the interference happened. Right?
No.
And yeah, not one member of the Bloodline stable got involved. This was before Solo officially joined the Bloodline stable. This was his debut on the main roster. Right?
Yep.
And of course, after the match, Tyson Fury went to the ring, shook hands with Reigns from one champion to another, show of respect.
Also to stop the beatdown on McIntyre.
Yep. Yeah, and then Reigns slowly walked up the ramps with Solo by his side celebrating the win. And yeah, we got a recap of what happened at Clash of the Castle, but here's the part that I remember that happened live, and this doesn't affect the score. We didn't see this on the Netflix version because I cut it out, but apparently on the live pay-per-view feed, they were supposed to cut out around the same time that the Netflix edit ended, right? But for some reason, the cameras kept rolling, right?
No.
And Tyson Fury freaking got Drew McIntyre back up to his feet. And of course, Drew was feeling down. Tyson Fury was trying to cheer McIntyre up, and next thing we know, Tyson Fury and Drew McIntyre started doing a rendition of American Pie together at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you lose a big title match and you celebrate by doing karaoke? How's that even make any sense? Right?
It was funny.
So yeah, they cut that part out of the Netflix version, but I still remember watching that live, and even then I was like, what the fuck is going on? Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that was our review of Clash of the Castle 2022, so now we get to go on to our favorite part, which is our rating system and final grade. Damage control of Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai defeating Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss in that 6-women tag match. I gave that one 3 3/4 out of 5.
4.
You enjoyed it slightly more than I did. Gunther defeating Sheamus to retain the Intercontinental Championship. For me, that was an easy 5 out of 5.
I hate to say this for Gunther Matt because I do not like him at all either. But for a Sheamus match, yeah, it's a 5 out of 5.
No, we gotta grade these matches fairly despite how we feel about said performers.
Sheamus has not had one bad match in his entire fucking WWE career. That hasn't been either a 4 or a 5-star for me.
Well, he did. Well, to me, he did have one bad match. It was a 0. It was only 18 seconds. Sure. You knew I had to go there, right?
I said from me.
Anyway, Liv Morgan defeating Shayna Baszler to retain the SmackDown Women's title. I gave that one a 3 out of 5. Could have been more.
3.5.
Edge and Rey
Really should have. Like I said, like I've been saying, they really should have had Shayna Baszler win the title because that was their most dominant person at the time.
Yeah.
And then they just let it flop.
Edge and Rey Mysterio defeating the Judgment Day in that tag match. I gave that one 3. After thinking about it, I gave it 3.5 out of 5. But it's not really about the match. It was about what happened after the match. But as a total package, I would have given it 4.5 out of 5, with the Dominic heel turn at the end included.
Well, 4.5 automatically for me because that was. I didn't care what the fuck happened after. Well, I did and didn't at the same time because I already knew that Dominic was going to be a fucking asshole to everyone anyway. So
Even back then, watching it for the first time.
And fucking just Edge fucking running and spearing fucking Finn Balor out of the fucking ring like that.
Yep. The Seth Rollins defeating Matt Riddle, I gave that one 3.5 out of 5.
Honestly, I'd have to go 4.5.
Man, it's like, man, you're rating a Seth Rollins match and a Gunther match high. That's unusual from you. You're like, yes, I know, it's weird, right?
It wasn't because of Seth. It was fucking Matt Riddle. He fucking wrestled his goddamn best at one of the best matches of his fucking career.
Yep. And of course, the main event, which saw Roman Reigns defeating Drew McIntyre to retain the undisputed Universal Championship. I gave that one 4 out of 5, only because of the interference from Solo Sikoa that hurt the match.
I'm sorry again for this fucking main event. Even though it was a Roman Reigns, I'm still have to give it a 5 out of 5 because it was a fucking banger of a match.
And it told the story it needed to tell, and it introduced a new character on the main roster. But would I have been mad if Drew McIntyre defeated Reigns here? No, but it is what it is. I mean, it was a great match all the way through up until the interference at the end, which, yes, we know it was a Roman Reigns style defense. It was predictable, but still, it could have done without it, in my opinion.
Like I said, he can't get the job done by him damn self.
He technically did against Jacob Fatu at Backlash. Controversial, but he did it by himself.
He didn't the fucking turnbuckle.
Man, we could debate that till the cows come home, but either way, what is done. This match.
He wasn't ready for Fatu. That's why. He fucking got his ass beat that entire fucking match.
Oh yeah, and before I forget, my final grade for Clash of the Castle 2022 is a solid B grade.
B plus.
Yep. Close enough. So now, I know we usually talk about what our next classic pay-per-view review will be for next week, but at time of recording, we got Clash in Italy tomorrow. So instead of revealing what the classic pay-per-view review will be for next week, we're just going to sit here and talk about our predictions for Clash in Italy. Starting with Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Who do you got in the WrestleMania
Brock.
rematch?
Brock.
I say Brock. I think Brock should get his win back, and maybe they'll have a third clash at SummerSlam, where Oba would get the win there, right? Sol Ruka challenging Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Who do you got?
Soul.
As big of a Becky Lynch fan as I am, I kind of have to agree. I'm going for Sol Ruka in this match.
Tries to cheat, which lately that's been her MO lately.
Or I'm thinking that Jessica Carter could be the referee and screw over Becky Lynch, though. In some way or another, with their little rivalry they're going, right?
Or Jessica Carter can just fucking turn on Becky and just beat her ass in the fucking if she pushes her so much like she's been.
Yeah. So either way, my prediction is Sol Ruka to win due to controversy. All right. Between the referee Jessica Carter and Becky Lynch, knowing where the story could possibly go between the two, right?
No.
Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill for the Women's Championship in a WrestleMania rematch. I'm going for Rhea. Yeah, you and I can both agree on that. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the undisputed WWE Championship, or the WWE Championship, whatever. My prediction is, yeah, this match I could see going either way, but my prediction is Cody Rhodes to retain.
Yeah, Cody.
And the main event, which could be in jeopardy, because we do have a tribal combat match for the world title between champion Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, but that could be changed due to Fatu's fucking injury. And if that's the case, and say he wrestles a match, I'm still going to predict Reigns to retain.
Fatu.
Well, either way, I still say Reigns. You say Fatu. We almost agree on all of it except for one, right?
Fatu.
I say Reigns, or it could be Reigns retaining against Fatu's replacement, or whatever. I don't know. Because like we said, Fatu was freaking legit injured. We don't even know if he's going to make the match or not at this point.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens at Clash in Italy, if Fatu's going to be competing or not.
Yep.
So anyway, that's our predictions for Clash in Italy, which is our next review. And at the end of that review, that's when you're going to reveal what our pick for this next week is for the Classic Baby review. And I already don't like the way you're laughing. I gave you a decent event. Judging by the laugh, you might give me an event that's garbage.
It's King of the Ring. The season that's coming up.
I know it's King of the Ring season coming up. And I already have an event in mind, but it's not my pick next week, it's yours.
Yeah. I could do King of the Ring. Let me see which ones that they have.
Well, we already reviewed the garbage that was the 95 King of the Ring a year ago. I know that.
Well, I know we gotta do the one Frank requested.
Yeah, and I know we did 98 King of the Ring. That was the first King of the Ring pay-per-view we reviewed.
Which we done that one, but that review got deleted because of the laptop issue.
Issues, yeah. But we'll do that eventually. We'll do that one eventually again. So there's a plethora one, but anyway, when you're thinking about it, you come back. Anyway, you'll reveal you'll reveal it at the end of the Clash in Italy review, which is our next freaking pay-per-view review.
I could do King of the Ring 2002.
That was actually a decent event.
I could do 2001.
Yeah. It's alright, I
Or
guess.
2000.
Let me guess, your next one you're going to say is, I could do 1999's, and 99 King of the Ring was total crap. I have a feeling you may go down that path now. Just because I mentioned it's crap, well, then again, you already knew that.
Or I could do 93.
Oh, God. Or you can do 94.
Defends the title against Yokozuna.
Or you can do 94 that has freaking abysmal, shitty freaking commentary.
Yeah, and Fake Diesel.
Ah, fuck that. Anyway, it'll be one of those things, or it could be totally something different. You could be throwing my ass off, and you could be picking something else. Anyway, until next time when we do until the Clash of Italy review, we will talk to you all later. Peace.
Deuces.